Deep in the heart of Monroe County, Alabama, lies a place shrouded in mystery and sorrow, a place known as Nancy's Mountain. This seemingly tranquil spot on Haines Island hides a tale of heartache and haunting, echoing through the ages. Our story begins during the tumultuous times of the Civil War. Nancy lived with her husband and their only son on a modest farm. Life was harsh, but they found solace in their family and land. However, as the war raged on, Nancy's son was called to serve in the Confederate cavalry. He never returned. Her son fell in battle, his body lost in the chaos of war. Nancy, devastated by the loss and the uncertainty of his fate, became a figure of tragedy. Unable to bury her son and give him a proper farewell, her grief transformed into a restless spirit. Legend has it that Nancy's spirit can still be seen wandering the path to the river, her ethereal figure cloaked in sorrow. They say she walks this path every night, her eyes searching for the son she never had the chance to lay to rest.
I remember my granddaddy telling me stories about Nancy's Mountain. He'd swear up and down that he saw her one night just floating down the path, looking lost and heartbroken, said it gave him chills that never went away.
My friends and I went up there once, just for the thrill of it. We didn't believe the stories, but then we saw her, a faint, ghostly figure moving towards the river. We ran as fast as we could. I'll never forget it.
Many have ventured to Nancy's Mountain, hoping to catch a glimpse of the sorrowful spirit. Some encounter nothing but the eerie stillness of the night, while others return with chilling tales of their own. Over the years, countless stories have been documented. Witnesses describe a hauntingly beautiful woman, her face etched with eternal grief, drifting silently towards the riverbank. Some believe Nancy's spirit seeks closure, a chance to finally bury her son and find peace. Others think she is trapped in an endless loop of despair, forever mourning her lost child. No matter the explanation, Nancy's Mountain remains a place where the past and present intertwine, where the veil between the living and the dead is thin. But before we close the book on Nancy's tale, let's delve into some chilling eyewitness accounts and stories passed down through generations. These stories, whispered through the ages, paint a vivid picture of the eerie happenings that have left an indelible mark on the local folklore. One local legend speaks of a fisherman from the early 1900s who claimed to have seen a woman in a tattered dress standing by the river, her eyes filled with sorrow. He approached to offer help, but she vanished into thin air before he could reach her. This fisherman, known for his stoic demeanor, was left shaken and haunted by the encounter for the rest of his life. He would often recount the story to anyone who would listen, warning them to stay away from the riverbank at dusk. Another story from the 1950s tells of a group of teenagers who went camping near Nancy's Mountain. They reported hearing a woman's wails in the dead of night, mingled with the sound of marching feet and distant gunfire. Terrified, they fled and swore never to return. These teenagers, now adults, still remember that night vividly. They described the wails as heart-wrenching, filled with a pain that seemed to echo through the forest. The sound of marching feet and gunfire added to the terror, making them feel as if they had stepped back in time to a battlefield. More recently, a park ranger shared his unsettling experience from just a few years ago. While patrolling the area at dusk, he saw a faint figure moving along the riverbank. As he drew closer, the figure disappeared, leaving only a cold chill in the air and an overwhelming sense of sadness. The ranger, a seasoned veteran of the park, had never experienced anything like it before. He described the figure as ethereal, almost translucent, and the chill that followed as bone deep. The sense of sadness lingered with him for days, a haunting reminder of the encounter. These accounts, along with many others, have kept Nancy's story alive, adding layers to the mystery and intrigue of Haines Island. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the tales of Nancy and the Civil War soldiers who once roamed these lands continue to captivate and haunt those who dare to listen. The island itself seems to hold on to these stories, with every rustle of leaves and whisper of the wind adding to the eerie atmosphere. Visitors often report feeling a sense of unease, as if they are being watched by unseen eyes. As we continue our journey through the eerie history of Nancy's Mountain, let's explore even more spine-chilling eyewitness encounters. The stories that have emerged from this haunted place are as varied as they are unsettling, each one adding another layer to the mountain's dark and mysterious reputation. In the late 1960s, a local historian named Margaret spent several nights near the mountain, hoping to document any supernatural occurrences. Margaret was a dedicated researcher, known for her meticulous attention to detail and her unyielding curiosity about the unknown. She set up her campsite with a sense of both excitement and trepidation, fully aware of the mountain's eerie reputation. On her third night, she claimed to have seen a woman in a blood-stained Civil War-era dress wandering the woods, seemingly searching for something or someone. The apparition moved with a haunting grace, her eyes filled with a sorrow that seemed to transcend time. Margaret watched in stunned silence, her heart pounding as she tried to make sense of what she was witnessing. Margaret managed to capture a faint, ghostly image on film, which to this day remains a topic of heated debate among paranormal enthusiasts. The photograph, though blurry and indistinct, clearly shows a figure that defies logical explanation. Some believe it to be definitive proof of the supernatural, while others dismiss it as a trick of the light or a product of overactive imagination. Another encounter from the early 1980s involves a family on a weekend hiking trip. The family, eager to enjoy a peaceful day in nature, had no idea that their outing would take a terrifying turn. They had heard the stories, of course, but like many, they dismissed them as mere folklore. The children, playing near the river, suddenly ran back to their parents, pale and trembling. Their faces were etched with fear, their voices shaking as they tried to explain what they had seen. The parents, initially skeptical, listened with growing concern as their children described the encounter. They spoke of a lady who had asked them if they had seen her husband, only to disappear right before their eyes. The description matched that of the woman Margaret had seen years earlier, adding a chilling consistency to the tales of Nancy's Mountain. The parents, now deeply unsettled, decided to cut their trip short. The parents, skeptical at first, were convinced after they too heard unexplained whispers and footsteps echoing through the trees that night. The sounds seemed to come from all around them, growing louder and more insistent as the night wore on. It was as if the very forest itself was alive with the restless spirits of the past. Fast forward to the early 2000s, when a group of college students decided to spend Halloween night at Nancy's Mountain as part of a dare. The students, armed with the latest technology, were eager to capture any evidence of the paranormal. They set up their equipment with a mix of excitement and nervous anticipation, ready to face whatever the night might bring. Armed with cameras and recording equipment, they hoped to capture evidence of the paranormal. They had heard the stories, seen the photographs, and now they wanted to experience the mountain's eerie phenomena for themselves. As the night grew darker, the atmosphere around them seemed to change, growing heavier and more oppressive. What they experienced was more than they bargained for. Disembodied voices, flickering lights, and the unmistakable sound of a woman crying. The voices seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once, whispering words they couldn't quite understand. The lights flickered in and out of existence, casting eerie shadows that danced among the trees. Their footage, which later went viral, shows orbs of light and shadowy figures that defy logical explanation. The video, analyzed by experts and skeptics alike, remains one of the most compelling pieces of evidence to come out of Nancy's Mountain. The orbs of light move in ways that seem to defy the laws of physics, and the shadowy figures appear and disappear with an unsettling fluidity. These stories, coupled with the countless other tales whispered around campfires and shared in hushed tones, continue to weave a tapestry of mystery and fear around Nancy's Mountain. Each new story adds to the mountain's legend, creating a rich and complex narrative that captivates and terrifies in equal measure. Whether it's the restless spirit of Nancy herself or the lingering echoes of the Civil War, one thing is certain. Haynes Island remains a place where the past refuses to be forgotten. The mountain stands as a testament to the enduring power of history and the human fascination with the unknown. It is a place where the past and present collide, creating a space that is both beautiful and terrifying. This mountain, shrouded in mist and mystery, has been the epicenter of countless eerie tales and unexplained phenomena. The dense forest, with its towering trees and shadowy undergrowth, seems to hold secrets that defy the passage of time. In the early 1990s, a park ranger named Tom reported an encounter that still haunts him to this day. Tom, a dedicated ranger with years of experience, was known for his bravery and keen sense of the wilderness. His story, however, would challenge even the most skeptical minds. While on a routine patrol, Tom noticed a figure in a long dress standing at the edge of the forest. The dress appeared to be from a bygone era, flowing and ethereal. Intrigued and concerned, Tom decided to approach the figure, hoping to offer assistance. He approached, calling out to see if she needed help, but the figure vanished into thin air. One moment she was there, and the next she was gone, leaving behind an eerie silence that seemed to swallow the forest whole. Tom, a seasoned outdoorsman, was left questioning his own eyes and sanity. He had encountered wild animals, harsh weather, and treacherous terrain, but nothing had prepared him for this. The experience left him with a lingering sense of unease, a feeling that something was watching him from the shadows. In 2010, a young couple decided to camp near the base of the mountain. They were avid adventurers, always seeking new places to explore and stories to tell. Little did they know, their night at Nancy's Mountain would become one of their most unforgettable experiences. As night fell, they began to hear faint singing, almost like a lullaby, carried on the wind. The melody was hauntingly beautiful, yet filled with a sorrow that tugged at their hearts. They listened, captivated and unnerved, as the song seemed to weave through the trees. Following the sound, they stumbled upon an old, abandoned cabin. The structure was dilapidated, with broken windows and a sagging roof, yet it seemed to call to them. With trepidation, they decided to investigate further. Inside, they found Civil War-era artifacts and, disturbingly, a locket with a faded photograph of a soldier. The locket was tarnished, but the image inside was still discernible, a young man in uniform staring solemnly into the camera. The discovery sent chills down their spines. The couple left in a hurry, but the experience left them shaken and filled with questions that remain unanswered. Who was the soldier in the photograph, and what connection did he have to the haunting lullaby that led them to the cabin? More recently, in 2018, a paranormal investigation team spent a night at Nancy's Mountain, equipped with state-of-the-art equipment. They were determined to uncover the truth behind the mountain's eerie reputation, bringing with them an array of cameras, recorders, and sensors. They recorded EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, sessions that captured a woman's voice pleading, "Help me find him," and he never came back. The voice was faint but clear, filled with a desperation that was palpable even through the recordings. The team also documented cold spots, sudden drops in temperature, and unexplained shadows moving across their cameras. These anomalies, captured on film, provided compelling evidence that something otherworldly was at play. Their findings were published and sparked renewed interest in the haunting, drawing more curious souls to the enigmatic mountain. Researchers, thrill-seekers, and skeptics alike flocked to Nancy's Mountain, each hoping to experience the supernatural for themselves. These additional encounters add layers of depth to the already rich tapestry of ghostly tales surrounding Nancy's Mountain. The mountain's history, steeped in mystery and sorrow, continues to captivate and terrify those who dare to explore its depths. They serve as a chilling reminder that the past is never truly gone, and the spirits of those who suffered continue to seek solace and resolution. The old cemetery, with its weathered headstones, stands as a testament to the lives and stories that have become entwined with the mountain's legend. As always, we appreciate you joining us on this journey into the unknown. Your curiosity and bravery are what keep these stories alive. allowing us to delve deeper into the mysteries that surround us. Thank you for joining us around the campfire tonight. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more eerie tales from history, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, stay curious and stay brave. Remember, the past is never truly gone. It lingers in the shadows, waiting to be discovered. So keep your eyes open and your mind sharp, for you never know what you might encounter in the dark corners of history.